Alright, good morning. It's Sunday. It was 79 degrees in my apartment, so you get air conditioning noise for a little while. It's not that late in the morning, so I'm hopeful that the air conditioner won't need to run for that long. But I just sat down to start streaming and decided it was too dang hot. It's supposed to be like 104 today or something like that, which is quite hot enough for me, I must say. Alright. A lot happened last time, but one of the things that happened was that I built a crude sort of assembly line for motors, which is now working. It's probably going to eventually be copper limited just because of the, not very much copper that's coming down here, but that's not a big deal. I think I probably, yeah, we already have, well, anyway, like I said, it's not going to be a problem because currently we need 500 modular frames to finish this delivery, and I am not close to having modular frame production automated, so that is what we are here to do. Some other stuff probably happened, but that's not that important. What am I doing? Oh, right. Let's throw some ramps here. Alright, so we got a lot of work done on the first couple steps for modular frame construction. The first level has iron smelters and also iron plate construction. The second level, I believe, is did we actually get the constructors? Are these? Let's review. I think this is probably delivering iron ingots, which will be used for iron rod construction. Yeah, because those are smelters. Yeah, okay. Or maybe I have that backwards. These are making iron rods. Okay, so this is iron rod construction. Iron plate construction will happen up there. Alright. How's our inventory looking? Pretty good. Okay, so this is where we will have 8 constructors building iron plates. Good morning, Mastazah. I don't actually know what you just said, what that means. I assume it involves something involving a Raspberry Pi, but I don't really know. But I'm glad you solved whatever problem it was through creativity. Okay, alright, so 8 constructors making plates. How do I want to arrange this? Like, the easiest way to do this is just to put splitters right here and then just put constructors on either side of them. Do I have a good reason to not do that? I don't think so. Like, I wonder if the inline thing can... The inline thing probably can't see... Yes, the snapper tool can't see the elevator, but I can cheat by just bringing this down a little bit, and then it should... Oh, I'm out of steel. Okay. In that case, we have a small job before we get too involved here, which is to go pick up more steel plates, steel beams, more properly. So let's go for a little walk. Wow. There's a weird sunlight phenomenon happening here. Okay, the sun was going behind the causeway, and like, wow, that is a cool lighting effect. If you can see that little, I don't know if it shows up too well on the stream. Let's see, get a little closer. Well, anyway, there's sunlight coming into this little gap that's, anyway. There's a... Shadows in this game are a little sharper than they would be in real life. Oh wait, also I've like basically decommissioned this ramp. Yeah, okay. This won't work anymore. As I was saying, shadows in this game are sharper than they are in real life. The most obvious demonstration of this is when the sun goes behind the space elevator. It casts an extremely sharp shadow, so you can see the shadow of the space elevator even if you're like a mile away, where ordinarily I think it would probably fuzz out to be something that you basically could not see. But anyway. Mastodon elaborates. RetroPython. Whoops. Yep, we're just warming up here, getting our legs under us, not really remembering how to parachute properly. This is fine. RetroPie, the Raspberry Pi set up as an emulator station. Okay, so cobbling together some hardware to watch Twitch on something that's not a conventional computer or tablet. Okay. Okay. That should keep us busy for a while. Let's see, for giggles, let's just ride the steel pipe transport. That did not quite do what I wanted it to do. That's okay. But there's a ladder. I can just climb the ladder here. So, we demonstrated on a previous stream that items moving on a transport belt do not have momentum when they get to the end of a transport belt. The player definitely does, and can be flung off of the transport belt accordingly, if there's a sharp enough corner. Alright. That's how you parachute. Speaking of which, we were down to 13 parachutes. Again, sharp shadows. Like, I saw the shadows of those trees that are, like, very far away, like, cast over here, and those things are probably, like, 2 or more kilometers away. So they definitely would not cast shadows that sharp as the sun rose behind them. Anyway, let's get some actual factory work done before I go and make more parachutes. Working over here should not require that many parachutes. Okay. Where was I? Yep, that's a Mark III conveyor. So if I bring this out just a touch, game seems kind of loud. Okay, that's better. Now the splitter should be able to be... Oh, the splitter still is not in line. That's odd. Really? I mean, I can do it manually. It's just kind of a pain. Anyway, well, let's do it manually then. Well, the easier way to do this is to get a box to stand on. Okay. What am I doing? There. No problem. Okay, so now we want... If I put this here, and then there. How do I like those distances? It's actually not... Move this one a little bit closer. Also, how do I feel about the constructors being like right on the edge? I think this is probably still fine. There we go. I guess that actually is balanced out. Anyway, this is going to work out just fine. Oop. I need to build a bunch of foundations. That's okay. I'm definitely here to build foundations today. Did I just build a foundation in the wrong place? Hold on. I'm a little bit fussy about this. Looks like we're okay. Anyway. Alright. Where am I? Okay. I don't know exactly how wide the final product is going to be here. Maybe I will just focus on making space for these constructors. Go out there too far, I probably will run into the poison gas, which I don't want to do, but I don't... We're going to have plenty of room. That's not an actual concern. All right. And we can just turn the splitter around and feed them in like this. Let's just go ahead and work from up here. Can I actually get the angle here? This is a little bit rough. Also, this constructor specifically is not oriented correctly. Just has the output pointing anyway. Alright, that's fine. I was always a little bit more comfortable placing belts when standing on a solid splitter rather than standing in the building, which is a little bit of a fussy detail, but that's fine. Okay. Now we have to get outputs for these. Again, this part probably will be a little bit easier from up here. And let's go ahead and widen this one more bit. Oops. Oh no. Nastazaw's technology experiment apparently did not pan out, so they're back on the tablet. Or, I don't know. Oops. Getting a little bit mixed up here. That's fine. There we go. Okay. Okay, so the logical thing to do, I think, would be to combine up these outputs together. But before we do that, let's briefly review the production pipeline that we want to build. So the final goal today is modular. Well, final. I don't think it's going to take the whole stream to do this, but what we want is to be making modular frames with this recipe, which is reinforced iron plates and steel pipes. Steel pipes are just going to be coming from steel production zone that away. So really the major challenge here is making reinforced iron plates, which is just iron plates and screws, and then we'll have assemblers making modular frames from that. So what needs to happen on this level is screw production and probably Alright, well before we merge up all this stuff, well actually, because this will be merging into a single stream, let's just make sure that we can accommodate that. Yeah, 15 iron plates times 8 is 200. No, it's not 240. It's probably half of that. is 30 times 4, which is definitely 120. So yeah, 120 can definitely be accommodated on a Mark III conveyor. The thing is, I don't know quite whether I want to bring that side over to here or this side over to there. So let's start screw production. I think what I can probably do. There's going to be a bit of dead space, I think. Let's go see. Rod production capacity is 8 constructors, which corresponds to how many? Oh. Also 120. Okay. So we have 120 rods per minute being made, and that means I can have 8. Here's the thing. Yeah, okay, so one constructor making screws will make 90 per minute from 15. So if 15 constructors making rods can feed into, 8 constructors making rods can feed into 8 constructors making screws. The thing is that 8 constructors making screws is 720 screws per minute, and I don't have belt capacity for that. So, this is gonna be a little weird. Okie dokie. I seem to recall that I on a different file on my offline game or non-streaming game, I dealt with this in a pretty obnoxious way. I'm wondering if there might be a less stupid way to do this. Let's consider. So, if you have a modular frame or a reinforced plate constructor, which is to say, am I just blind? Oh no. You didn't make an assembler. Assembler. If you have an assembler making reinforced iron plates, they can use 220 screws per minute. That's interesting. Let's see. And so I just said I was going to have 720. Is 720 evenly divisible by 100 or 120? Yes, it is, because I think that's well, 120 times 5 is 600. 120 times 6 is 720. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we're going to have eight constructors making screws feeding into 6 assemblers making reinforced iron plates. And that is an interesting problem to solve, because 8 into 6 is a little weird. Actually, what if we just do, because that's 8 into 6 is equal to 4 into 3 twice. Okay. Cool. This is an interesting challenge. So if I have 4 pairs of screw constructors and 2 pairs of screw constructors feed into a merger that then feeds into a splitter that then splits into 3, then that splitter that is taking the output from 4 screw constructors can feed into 3 assemblers. Okay. As As Kaz infamously put it, this is how I enjoy myself, so... We are definitely here for arithmetic. Alright. What that means is, I'm going to pick up this lookout tower. And build a lookout... Oh, also there have been map updates, you can, like, turn things off. Like, I don't care about seeing the tractor. That other stuff is fine. Oop. Okay, so again, we're gonna go up here to sort of plan out how this is gonna look. So screw constructors, oops. This might be a good time to take a little break, because the next thing I do is going to involve being pretty deep in the tank about building placement. But let's just think about this. We're going to have screw constructors arranged in 4 pairs of, 4 pairs essentially. So, and the feed is here. I'm thinking that probably the reinforced iron plate construction will be 1 level up from here. So what we probably expect to happen is oh, I just remembered a small problem, which is that. So what I just said was that I eventually just said I was gonna have 4, or a total of 4 screw constructors feeding into a single belt that will go into a splitter. The problem with that is that the output from 4 constructors can't be carried on a Mark III conveyor belt. That's a little tragic. Because 4 constructors is going to make 360 screws per minute. Nuts. Okay. All right, back to the drawing board. Maybe let's take a little break, go make some more parachutes, and when we come back, we can think about math some more. I'm going to say this is probably the edge of this particular bit of factory, so I'm going to build a ramp here. This is going to be a very temporary ramp. So if I decide I need to move this, that's fine. Mathsauce says use 2 conveyor belts and cancel the splitter. Yeah, that's probably going to be the solution, is something like that. Or use 2 conveyor belts, and this might be a situation where it's possible to over-optimize it. Which, what I mean by that might not be obvious, but all right. Mathsauce says, given the distance you can place things, I wonder how plausible it is to travel by belt. I mean, I kind of do that on the causeway. Oh. Yeah. Just make conveyor towers and set up new belts. Oh, you mean like... I mean, the main limitation for that is that, what am I doing? I'm going over here. Is that you can't place belts Wait, I can make a Blade Runner? I researched this? I didn't know I did that. Sure, let's do something fun instead of something productive. So this goes in the body slot, which means you can't have a parachute, but it allows you to sprint faster and jump higher. I've never done this before, so this is sprinting. Yep, that certainly is a lot of jumping. So this is, let's do a test here. So this is normal walking speed. And I actually played the game like this for the first like 6 hours or something like that before I discovered there was a sprint button. And this is now walking speed with the Blade Runners on. And sprint speed. So that's fun. Let's do a quick test of fall damage. So I'm going to try to... Well, I know how to make myself take fall damage. I can jump off of the conveyor tower, or jump off of the observation tower. I'm going to have to get used to this jump height, because... yeah. So by default, you take fall damage if you just walk off of an observation tower. Okay. Well, this is fun. I'm going fast enough that when I'm doing fine detail work in the factory, I'll probably go back to normal walk speed. Okay, this is a decent replacement for parachutes. Although I'm still carrying around the cloth. I think what I'm going to do with this is head back and make the parachutes, but then just put them in a box. Oh, really? Oh, yes, survivable fall is different from fall that you take damage from but don't die. Because this will presumably still hurt me. Well then. We're learning. I mean, certainly the game is still in development, so this might be the kind of thing that they would change and the wiki just like isn't up to date on. Okay, so we put our exoskeleton back on, and then no. Okay, let's try again from full health. Actually, what we can do is jump off of this here. So here, we're at full health. I'm also a little bit lower than I was before. Okay. Given that, the other thing is I don't know how the fall damage model works. Like Dark Souls, you take damage. You take more damage as you fall higher up until it is as a percentage of your health. So now I'm at full health. Okay. So that fall is nearly lethal. And I would not call that the stratosphere. Like that's like half the height up to that thing. Okay. I believe I have a medical inhaler that I will use. Okay. All right. Back on task here. I guess that is one way to not have anything in your hands, which is to put something in your hands, select it, and then take it out of your hands. If you really are a stickler about that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm gonna do the thing I said I was gonna do, which is make these parachutes and then put them in the box. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry around a full stack of parachutes and then put extra parachutes in the box. There. Probably also pick up some more cables. Okay, so here's the full stack of parachutes for when I need to parachute. And cables. Okay. Anyway, I had totally forgotten that I'd even researched Blade Runners, although it does remind me just to double check if we have any milestones. So there's jump pads, but I've already said that I'm not interested in jump pads. I could research crystal oscillators. Oh wait, no. The reason why I'm not researching crystal oscillators now is because I don't have a meaningful source of quartz, so... Okay. Well, that was all invigorating. Now we have to get back to the burning question of how to lay out these screw constructors. First of all, let's cue them. Alright, so... I think what I might just do is have the screw constructors go that way, and then this area over here can be like a staging area for organizing screw output. And also plate output, although the plate output would be much simpler overall. Okay. So I'm going to start by changing the direction of this lift is pointing. so that it's pointing this way. That's perhaps a little too tall. That's good. So when you snap a lift conveyor or a conveyor lift to an existing conveyor or input or output, it gets this little accordion attachment that I think is kind of cute. Okay. So yeah, and we have enough space over here that I can do this. Oops. Let's just go out like this. That tree can stay for now. Although actually, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep widening this. And now we're gonna run out of foundations. That's fine. Oh hey, if I have a improved jump height, I can jump up to this ramp. That's good. Also, is there anything here I don't need to be carrying around besides like the biomass stuff? I probably don't need to be carrying around the Caterium wire or quick wire. Where's a good place to put that? Oh. Sure, this is a lazy solution, but I don't especially care at the moment. Okay. I'm probably carrying more reinforced iron plates than I really need to. But that's fine. Man, sure am fast. Okay. Okay. The other thing I could do is move this back a couple notches. Yeah, let's do that. So let's move this to about there. Okay. And now, this will be broadly the same as what I did over there, but there will be some differences in how I configure the output. Let's actually start this a little bit forward. And make sure that there's going to be enough room for what I want to do here. Okay, so if I Yeah, this will be fine. And we can do it again over here. Yep. So I'm going to do the hard part first here, which is that I'm going to make sure that the output is going to be able to do what I want. So what I mean by that is I want the output from each of two... Oh wait, I can do it like this. Yeah, okay. So the output here is going to look a little funny, because again, maximum capacity of a Mark III conveyor is the output from 3 of these. To keep this a little more manageable, I'm just going to have them grouped in pairs of 2 instead of trying to do like 3, 3, and 2 or something goofy like that. But you are allowed to do this, so point this way. And then point this way. And then now what I'm going to do is, there are a number of ways I can do this, but I'm going to just have another merger sit on top of that one, and have this feed like that. And now we just have 2 conveyors like that. Okay. Alright, and then we do it again over here. And okay. And then we get the inputs. Is this... Oh, yeah, I need orange lined up that way. Yep. Something is wrong here. That looks correct. Is this one not lined up to that one? It looks lined up, but... Oh. I don't know what I was seeing, but anyway. It's happening again here. Oh, I was lining up to the... Anyway. It was snapping to some of the stuff over there. That's fine. Okay. Oh, hey. With the Blade Runners, I can just natively jump on top of splitters now. That's a great luxury. That's a thing I wanted. I've been wanting for hours So that's great. Okay. Pretty soon I should remember to hook up power to these things, which reminds me to check if I've connected power to the stuff down here. Looks like no. Yeah, nothing down here has power. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and, now that I've finished preliminary screw construction setup, I'm gonna bring power to the lower level. I'm not gonna carry power to the upper level until or the second level until I know I have all the belts arranged the way I want them. Okay. Okay, so this will be power for the miners, but I'm not going to turn them on until I think I'm ready to rock. Also, my jump distance is now such that I can go vault over 2 splitters at a time. That's also an exciting development. Okay. Let's see here. Let's just put a power line. This is not an output, right? Yeah, there's no way this is an output. Here. And then... okay. There are a lot of different possible configurations for power poles, but I usually just do power distribution last, just so I can do it without really thinking about it too hard. That one already powered? Oh. That's a smelter, okay. Right, we have 12 smelters, which is kind of, well, it's an even number, but it's not visible by 8. Okay, anyway, I think that's power to the whole lower level, because if we look, everything seems to have yellow lights, which means it has power and orders, but not inputs. Yeah, I think they all had red lights before because they didn't have power. Alright, great. As I said, I'll hook up power to these things, yeah, because these things have orders, but no power or inputs. Okay. So now... So actually if I... This is a nice even front here. I could do reinforced iron plate construction here, because I think I have enough space. It just will involve a lot of fancy dancing. But that's okay. That's what we're here to do. Okay, so we want to have a total of 6 assemblers. Let's just queue up 6 assemblers. I don't have enough rotors, but I can go get more rotors. That's not a problem. Either go get more. Oh, let's just go get more. There. Okay, so... So as long as we leave plenty of clearance for all the splitter and merger site that's going to be happening here, I think we can build reinforced iron plate construction here. Let's make an observation tower. Wait a minute, did I take down the observation tower that I had over here? I guess I did. That's fine. I'm gonna put one up in a different place, which is to say here. Okay, so let's just do a quick check and make sure that this platform is wide enough for 6 assemblers. Because if it's not, I'll make it wider. Yes, because an assembler takes up a little less than 2 foundation widths. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We definitely have the width. That's not an issue. Well, there's like wireframes that I think are from the lower level that you can see there. That's kind of funky. Which, those are not actually wireframes, those are like box frames, but never mind. Okay. So again, we want the output from each of these pairs of things to go into 3, which I think I'm going to take the brute force approach, which oh hey, I have a plan. This is gonna be stupid, but I think it's gonna be great also. Okay. All right. I have a vision of what's going to happen here. All right, I'm gonna do this on this side first, and then I can send that feed over to it, to the other side. Okay. If I make 2 splitters here, actually, no, this is actually a good place to put it. Yeah, there. Oops, not like that. 2 splitters. And then and then 3 mergers, which let's go ahead and just place the assemblers. I'm thinking like here. 1. And these can be spaced out pretty generously, I think. Yeah, sure. Okay. And then if we have a merger here, let's, how do we want to do this? So that, because there's two feeds here, and one of them will be for iron plates, the other one will be for screws. Okay, so I'll tell you what, let's just place the plate feed. So we could do this, like, we could have put a plate feed here and then have the, I'm going to have the plate feed be very simple, which is to say it's going to look like this. There. Which, this is a little bit overkill, but I want it to just be something I don't have to think about, because all of my brain juice is going to have to go into making sure that this works the way I want it. Okay. How's that gonna smell? Well, let's see if it works. Okay, so this one's gonna be the most difficult to make sure it lines up, and I will demonstrate why right now. Yes, okay. And then this one can do that. I've built myself a small prison, that's okay. And then I think I can do the other one from up here. And then we want this like this. Yeah. And then we just need belts feeding into there and then into there. Now also, we give these things orders. No, not this one. Reinforced plates. Yeah. Okay, yeah, 20 iron plates per minute can just take a standard conveyor belt. And reinforced iron plates are made at 5 per minute, which is super slow. So I can just have all of these things feeding into an output that goes down to the end there. Okay. And now all I have to do is do that again. Now that we've finger quotes finished that, let's go look at it and just see. I can do a sanity check and oops. Yeah. I could actually make this a little more symmetrical for pointless aesthetics, but there. Yes. Good. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Alright. Now I just have to do it again over there. This next one will be a little bit sillier because I have to take the feed longer. Okay. Because, like, this one has to go in that way. So this might involve a little more silliness, but that's okay. I kind of want to keep these roughly equally spaced so that I have room on the end for conveyor lifts that go up to the third level, which doesn't exist yet. But there. Mass says this is the factory equivalent of code that works but isn't commented and has bad variable names. That is true, although I must say that from playing a little bit further in certain respects on my offline game, it's gonna get worse. Like the main reason I'm like the main challenge that I'm presenting myself here is that I'm setting everything up without actually turning anything on. So like it gets a little bit easier when you can actually see what's going where. Like right now when it's just totally blank buildings and conveyor belts, I'm kind of making things unnecessarily hard for myself by making it so nothing looks like it. You can't tell at a glance what anything's actually doing. You just have to remember, which is a thing humans can do, but they aren't necessarily the best at it. I think I can... That's 120 iron plates per minute coming off of that thing, so I can just do it like this. Let me just double check if this is in line. Yep, that is what I wanted, so. And in fact, let's just get the iron plates to do what I want them to do here. Because once the iron plates are in place, it'll make it easier to, it'll tell me where I'm at for, or how much space I have to work with for the next part. Nope, went too far, I think. Let me double check this. Yeah, that's... I definitely have a dislike of going too far and then having like a 85-degree turn. That's gross. Okay. Good, yes. Okay. Alright, so now the iron plates are all set up except for... I'm lost. Yeah. These do need conveyors to the assembler, but... Okay. Now I know where I stand as far as what space I have available. So I think what I'm going to do is jump way too far. That's fun too. So here's the output from the iron rods that has to be directed into those three. So I think what I'm going to do is place the mergers first, which I don't know. if that's necessarily the right plan, but there we go. And then I think I can do this. I just have to offset it a little bit. Yeah, this will be fine. And then just... I'm going to get down for this part. Whoops. I don't know why it does this, but like it like rotates the splitter. It's like, no. I just want two splitters that are on top of each other and do the same thing. Okay. There. Okay. And again, let's just do a visual check. Good. And then we just need belts to the assemblers. Alright. So now we can line up output heading that way, and then we'll go up a level and build the assemblers that will make the modular frames. Let's just go up here. Yep. This seems like an appropriate time to use some of my extra reinforced iron plates. Actually, nah. I'll just take some of these extra reinforced iron plates and dump them into the modular frame assemblers when I actually have some of those. Just checking that all these things have output belts, and they do, so that's good. Okay. So here, we will build a ramp up. I think assemblers are a little bit taller than constructors, so this might need to be a 3-level ramp. I'm wondering if I should do it over there. Yeah, I think I have room to do it over there. Okay, so I actually can now jump as high as 2 stacked conveyor belts. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna do this in a kind of simplistic way. I'm gonna do it on concrete. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so... So this is level 2, we definitely want to be level 3. And even at this level, I think I'm going to take it up one more level just to make sure we don't have, like, lights poking through here. Also just for, like, to be up high, because being up high is fun. That done, I'm going to take down this ramp and replace it with just a walking ramp, so that it doesn't take up quite so much space. Yeah, okay. Actually, let's bend it, because most of the time I won't be like right here at the edge. I'll either be coming from that direction or that direction, so. This is a little fussy, but what if I do it like this? Nah, okay, let's do it like this. There. I like that a little bit better. I'm more likely to actually need it in that direction. Okay. So... yeah, let's just get all of this. All right. This is probably a little bit overkill. And I may actually... we'll see how I feel, but I may take down that ramp and that whole extension entirely. Because there won't be that much going on up here. I expect this will only be... modular frame construction. But that's fine. I can deal with that later. Let's look and see what modular frame construction looks like, so I can estimate how many assemblers I want. So if I'm building this, so we have 6 assemblers making each 5 reinforced iron plates per minute, so that's a total of 30 per minute, which sounds embarrassingly slow, frankly, but so that's capacity for like 2.5 assemblers making reinforced iron, making modular frames. Well, that's fine. Anyway, okay, so we can make 3 assemblers. It's just that, like, the third one will only work about half the time, and even less than that, actually. I like the little warning finger crush thing here. They take a lot of work to, like, convince the lay person, if not the actual, actual factory designer, that these are like factory parts and not like totally future robot stuff. It's mostly stylistic, it's not realistic, but taking time for style is something I appreciate. Anyway, so yes, 2.5 or 3 assemblers. And we're gonna have let's just do this then. I don't appreciate the fact that, like, this is close to the edge of a foundation. I kind of want it a little more squarely in the middle, so I'm going to take a minute and put it where I want it, which is, like, here. Because now... There. Okay, now we know approximately where reinforced plates are coming in from. Okay, so let's get an observation tower up, and that will allow us to site these assemblers appropriately. Okay, so we need some space. Steel pipes are going to be coming from that away. So it sort of makes sense. It's not a big deal, but it sort of makes sense to have the steel pipes be on the right and reinforced plates on the left. So let's just do this. Okay. But what's going on here? That's not pointed the right way. I guess the other thing I could do is just have one splitter feed into, yeah, sure. This is a little stupid, but let's rebuild this. As we have learned, we shouldn't do this from too high up. Okay. Okay, so then if we, yes, we want modular frames here. Okay, so, and this is like 12 and 12 of each, so. No, I should go about to the ladder. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to make... So one of the challenges of this game is that when you have something like the delivery order to make 500 modular frames, by the time you get the factory up and running making those modular frames, you want it done immediately, but it will not happen immediately. It's going to happen... So we're going to make, at best, like 15 modular frames per minute. What's 500 divided by 15? Quick. It's a little more than an hour. Actually, I'm gonna pull up a calculator and just do that. Hello. Oh no. Calculator is behind Satisfactory. Okay, I'll always do it in my head then. Oh, 34-ish. Okay. Well, that's actually less than I thought. So even once we have this done, it's gonna take at minimum half an hour, probably more than that. You know, probably closer to 40 or 50 minutes to actually make 500 modular frames. But the thing is that once that's done, then after that we will have a big excess of modular frames. Oh, speaking of which, I see over there that the motor production has met its objective, which I'm going to want more motors later, so I'm going to redirect this into a container. How are we doing? We are out of stators. Do I care? No. So what I am going to do here is just make a box. Yeah, 30 times 15 equals 450, plus 4 times 15 is 510. Yeah, so like 33 and a bit. This is gross, but it doesn't matter. Okay. At some later point, I will. I might set up a steel pipe feed into there to make stators, or I might not use that assembly line anymore, because I'm going to eventually need much higher motor production capacity than that. Anywho, where am I? I'm in conveyor hell here, and I just want to get over to the up here. What was I saying? Anyway, yes. So once this thing is online, it's going to take probably 40 or 50 minutes. I anticipate that once it's online, steel pipe production will not be able to keep pace, and so I'm going to pass the time by expanding steel production so that steel pipes are being made faster. How's that looking? That's pretty good. Anyway, because reinforced iron plate production will take some minutes to get up to capacity, and then once that's done, steel pipe production will not keep pace, so anyway. I'm gonna have to take down this lookout tower. So why can't I? Oh, there we go. That's what I want. I guess I could do the same thing I just did. Oh. Why did I do it like that? I know why. But, oh, do I actually, for giggles, I could do what I did before. You know what? Sure. Yeah, no scoping that 90-degree turn. Is there a... What is happening here? Oh. I'm being a doofus. I guess if I want to do it like this, then I'm going to have the... This is amazingly stupid. No, this is fine. I can... No. Okay, I'm throwing in the towel on this insane plan here. I'm just going to use splitters like a sensible person. Okay. Whoa. That, I did not mean to jump nearly that far. This is fine. Okay, let's just get some output mergers set up here. Yeah, sure, let's do this. Nope. I'm gonna keep doing it this way. So, the problem that I'm running into here is like having multiple options and multiple dimensions that can be optimized, and anyway, what am I saying? And like getting stuck on which of the dimensions I want to optimize at any given second. And none of it really matters that much. Like, it's more important to just pick one. Wow, so now my jump length is like enough to jump this far, which is really far. I'm really happy about this. Okay. Okie dokie. You know what? Let's just... Can I get a walkway ramp that lines up there? This isn't going to work as well as I want it to, right? No, this is hideous and gross. However, what if we force it? Okay, so let's say we want... That's interesting. So I definitely can't... So what I want is a ramp starting like here, or at least here, that goes up. And I need to find like the weird magic spot there. That'll work. Snap 2 rolls can be kind of funky. There. This is very livable. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is throw down a... let's see here. We throw down a conveyor pole like here. Let's see if this is too long. And then another one like here. Hey, not too long. Great. Now, the other question is, I do use modular frames for building things like assemblers. So there's an argument for actually splitting the output here and keeping some in a box. Which this seems a little silly, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. Can I build splitters within the... So I can build splitters inside the range of the space elevator, but not storage containers. That's an interesting rule. Okay. Trying to think about that too hard. Will this work? Can I have a conveyor belt this steep? No, not allowed. What if I put the splitter over here? Still too steep. What if I put an intermediate conveyor pole, like there? Okay. These are all making all these conveyor belts Mark III is amazingly optimistic. There's no way I'm going to be making... I mean, I already said that I'm going to be making conveyors or modular frames at a maximum rate of 15 per minute. So, using Mark III conveyors is a little bit of a joke, but... So, what's going to happen here is that half of the modular frames will go into the box, but then when I come over here to check on the space elevator to see how production progress is going, I can manually just carry modular frames from the box to the space elevator. This is... I could have also put a box up on the 3rd level, but if I want modular frames, this way I don't have to climb all the way to the 3rd level. There's also an argument for sending this belt up over to the hub area or something like that, but that can happen on another day. In the meantime, I just want to get this factory online. Okay, I think it is time now to make sure that we have belts in all the right places. I think that's true. And then it's time to power things up, and then it'll be time to power up the miner. Okay, miners, plural. Alright, let's grab power from down there and bring it up here. Will I run out of cables or some other component while I'm just trying to connect power to things? Place your bets now. I'm going to also just send a power pole. Well, there, sure, whatever. Okay, so now all of these constructors have power, and now it's time to power up the other ones. Mm-hmm. Alright. So that's all of the screw constructors, I believe, and then... I kind of try to keep the power poles not smack in the middle of the assemblers, just and things like that, just so in case I'm like running between them, I don't like run into a power line. What am I doing? Why can't I go there? Okay, there we go. That's it. Okay. And now we need to get power up top. That's a good way to do that. Can I do this? Where's the power pole? There's the power pole. Okay, so let's... We can probably pull power from this power pole. Yes. Okay. Okay, I believe everything has power, so definitely these three things do. Oh, we also have to hook up steel pipes. Let's do that. But first, there's one thing over here that is missing something. What's your problem? Oh, you don't have orders. There. Any other red lights over here? Yes, there's one over there. Probably also missing orders. Oh yeah, because this is the one that I had turned around, so this is making iron plates. Okay. Alright, before we hook up the miners, let's connect the iron pipes, or steel pipes. This is going to involve a lot of belts, and also poles. How am I doing on? I think... While we're headed over there, let's go ahead and pick up more concrete. Nice. Eventually this box is just going to be full of copper wires and no concrete, but I'll deal with that in the future. Okay, so we have this pole of steel pipe here, or belt. Okay, so let's... I'm going to take it, generally speaking, a little bit to the left of the space elevator, so... Let's just clear these trees. So again, the point of, so I don't think I can reach, let's actually do a test here. So one option would be to like step the steel pipes up to the second level and then up to the third level, but I might be able to finagle a direct line from the ground-ish to, so this is steel pipe input. So let's throw down a pole here. Yeah, it can be hanging right on the edge there. So this says conveyor belt is too steep. But what if we make it less steep? Nope, conveyor belt's still too steep. I guess I could also use this platform here. But this is all getting a little tetchy. Let's just take it up from the second level. So in order to do this, what I'm actually going to do is extend this out a little bit over here. So, Satisfactory is okay with fairly extensive cheating in the realms of, having support for your stuff, so I am willing to do that. So this conveyor belt's still too steep here. I would like this to be approximately in line, but I'm not going to insist that it be totally in line. Also, let's just make sure that this is pointed in the right direction. Okay. Alright, so now we kind of want this to not interfere too much with the concrete, so I kind of want it to come in from that direction. I'm guessing I cannot actually reach that far. Yeah, that's about 35, so let's see here. Can I reach... I bet if I put a pole there... How's the geometry? 28. Dang. Well, can I reach to the ground here? Probably not, but I'm going to try. Oh, I'm allowed. Okay. This will be... This is going to look amazingly silly. You know what? What if instead of doing this... Because what's going to happen here is it's going to like... So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be like deleting the conveyor poles after all this is done. So if we do it like this, then... then it's going to like come across and then like dip into the pass but not be supported by anything, so it'll look like a... Okay. If we're going to cheat, let's go whole hog. Okay. Can I see the tower from here that I'm aiming for? Yes, it's that one right there. And now I have a target. Okay. Can we get the steel pipes up this far? This might be a bit of a stretch. 28. Yes, a little bit of a stretch. Nothing we can't handle. There. Now, can I get over to here? Yeah, no problem. So I don't want to be standing in the conveyor belt when I deploy it, but this is going to be like whatever. There. Now, so I could leave this platform up, but I don't want to. Taking some caution not to disassemble the plate the foundation I'm standing on, and also to not disassemble or not backstep off of the foundation, which now that I have the legs, I probably would not take fall damage, but it would make things a little less convenient. Although actually, you know, let's just do it. Oops. Is there a... yeah. This is arguably easier. Alright. This is totally allowed and not illegal. Alright, there goes the steel pipes. So now, I probably am forgetting stuff, but that's what checking is for, so I think it's time to power up the miners and see how this works. So I expect there to be some mistakes. If I did everything actually perfectly, then that's cool, but I don't expect that. Let's go. Alright. Had a little water break there since I've been going almost 2 hours, and with the air conditioner running I get a little bit more dried out. But that's fine. Let's head up here. So... wow. Wait a minute. Okay, yep, here comes the ingots. And oh, I guess I really should be looking to see how my screw conveyor belt monstrosities are doing. The main thing is that it's going to take a while before ingots actually get all the way over here. So screw production is going to take some time to actually get up to capacity. Something is wrong here. Oh. This thing has the wrong recipe. There we go. Yeah, so looking out for yellow lights. Most of these yellow lights are just because they don't, the inputs haven't gotten there yet. Because, for example, yeah, okay. Like, iron rod production is probably not at full capacity yet. It's going to take a while. Things look like they're working as intended. We seem to have screws going to every assembler. Bouncing around like a bunny here. That's okay. So really we're just going to be kind of probably waiting for screw production to get up to capacity. Hopefully I didn't make any math errors, but we'll find out. Yeah, so what we're seeing is that, like, the reinforced plate assemblers are, like, online some of the time, and that is dependent on... What the... That shouldn't happen. Yeah, there definitely should not be iron ingots in the belts, this belt stream. Let's go figure out how that's happening. Who's feeding? Oh dear. This is a... Well, I found a mistake. It should be this one over here. How's that look? No, unacceptable. Sorry. Alright, so there's probably iron ingots sitting in the in like a bunch of assemblers. I'll have to weed those out. Okay. Much better. Yes, so I'm guessing all of these, so I should be able to just reach inside. Actually, let's just dismantle this belt and rebuild it. Yes, Mastodon says, I wish they had some kind of labeling. I also wish that. There's no informational overlay, which Factorio has and is great, and Satisfactory doesn't have, and I'm sad. I mean, I figured it out by looking at it, but, on the upside, this did give screw production time to catch up. Okay. Yeah. Great. So now, most of the reinforced iron plates or assemblers making reinforced iron plates are sort of on some of the time. We still have some that are just, oh, I think there are still some stray ingots. That's obnoxious, but, let's try to find them just to make sure we don't have, yeah. So certainly none there. There's still some here. This might keep happening a little bit, because I don't know exactly how. Let's watch and make sure that we actually see iron plates going into each one. This one seems clear, this one is not. Okay. I think that's probably good. Let's just, like, give this one some iron plates so it gets going. Now I think they're all green. There may be some stray ingots left in the stream, but I think that's all of them. In the meantime, let's go ditch these ingots that I now have in my inventory. So the best place to put them is in screw production at the furthest end of the feed here. Which is somewhere, I don't even know. Whatever, okay. Let's see, let's check for yellow lights on the lower level. This is mostly, seems okay. What's their problem? They're just ore limited, aren't they? Yeah. Any yellow lights over here? No, all green, basically, except for that one that's ore limited, that's fine. These things are ingot limited, but these are like the furthest end of the chain here. Yeah, so sometimes this constructor doesn't get enough ingots, but I'm not gonna sweat that one. Alright, I think we have levels 1 and 2 ironed out. Let's go check level 3 and see if we actually have things happening. Let's see here. Yep. I saw a modular frame very briefly go into the space elevator, so I think we're working. Yep. Alright, is this one, this one's just limited on reinforced iron plates. Okay, so everything's working. Again, the expectation is that capacity here will not be 100%, even in optimum conditions, just because we don't actually have enough reinforced iron plate production. Alright, now I was thinking that we were going to be limited on steel pipes, but I'm a little skeptical of that now. I probably should still take time to increase steel production anyway. So but in the time that we've been up here doing quality control, let's just look and see how many modular frames we produced. Probably not a lot. 18, and presumably also 18 there, yes. The splitter is working as splitters do. Alright, well that can be left to its devices for a while. Let's check. Well, so it's just over 2 hours now that I've been going, so we will see how long it takes before I've actually made 150 or 500 of those. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually split the steel pipes at some point and feed steel pipes into here, and then we could have motor production resume. And not be limited by any particular resource, because currently I can feed steel pipes in here and it will just make motors. Do I want to do that? Let's, I don't think that's as important as boosting steel production. So to increase steel production, I might need, let's just see if I'm short on parts. I might need some miners, I'll probably need some foundries. That does not require anything I do not have. And then various constructors, but like, whatever. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this does not look like the steel pipe production capacity is going to be exhausted anytime soon. I guess one other thing to look at is power, because I just powered on a pretty large facility. How are we doing? Yeah, okay, we're about 50% production capacity. One of the things I might do to expand steel production is power down some of those coal generators, so I will be simultaneously building factory parts that are going to use power and also reduce my ouch. That's something to keep in mind. If I'm going to fling myself off of a conveyor belt like that, I probably should just use a parachute. Actually, let's do something stupid. So I don't know if the legs make you faster on conveyor belts, but let's do this. In the event that they do, this might not work, and if it doesn't work, I'll get hurt a little bit. But you can shift-click these things to just switch them out, and I can WASD to move around with this window up. Let's do this. Oops. Oh, spacebar does not jump when you're in the menu. Okay. So I have to change this maneuver up a little bit. Okay, so the intention here is ride this without the menu up, jump at the end so that I'm in free fall. Or, well, it's not. Anyway, yes. Yeah, it's basically free fall. Free fall with a lot of lateral movement. And then open up the menu, switch from legs to parachute, and then open the parachute. I don't know if I can do this very well the first try, but this is worth doing, worth attempting anyway. So jump, nope. Yikes. That's near death. I'm gonna try it one more time. I think I'm gonna say this is probably not worth it because, like, you want to open your parachute at the apex of your fling here. Let's go get the medical inhalers just as insurance here. Like, oh wow, this is like a Mark II. optimization. I think it mostly just needs practice, just because it's in my mind, it's like duplicating items in Dark Souls. That's like the point of reference I have. In that it's a specific key combination. Anyway, so, I mean, the objective is to... You'd like to open up your parachute at the apex of your jump, which means you need to have the parachute on. Because I want to have the legs on when I when my feet leave the ground. And I have like half a second to do that. So again, tab, well, I mean, it'd be like this, tab, click, and also, like, the mouse arrow starts in the middle of the window when you open it up, so I have to tab, mouse up, shift click, tab out, space. That's like 5 or 6 inputs, and I have to do that in the space of about a second or less. Let's do it in a place that where I have a longer fall distance, which is this way. I don't work super well under pressure, so actually, a better place to do it is from this belt, because this belt starts out higher up. Okay. Here we go. So again, jump, tab, shift. Oops. Okay. This is all amusing, but probably not really worth it. I can actually practice the input when I'm not flying through the air here. I'm willing to try this 1 or 2 more times. Okay, so down on solid ground here, tab, shift click, tab, space. It might be, if I really cared about this, I would probably rebind tab to, you know, the inventory menu button, because right now my ring finger, left ring finger, which I'm sure has pretty garbage dexterity compared to some of my other fingers, has to reach over to hit tab. Like, this is all using the last 2 fingers of my left hand, which is poor. Also, if I just jump, let's just try this by jumping. Also, actually I could, because I was a little bit annoyed that this ends in a conveyor lift, but I could actually fake this with a temporary conveyor here that just feeds, oh, that's fine, feeds off the edge. That's straight, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. Again, tab, shift click, tab, space. Okay. Ready? Jump. Alright, this is just like, I'm not pushing any buttons here, I just want to see how far I go. Okay. And if we compare that, we can switch back to this. So now what we're going to do is compare that to the same jump without without the legs, just with parachute on, opening up the parachute at a crude estimate of the apex of the jump. Because the legs are, even if the legs don't make me faster on the conveyor belt, the legs are giving me a higher jump, so that is an argument for why I would want to do this. But here we go. Oh boy, it looks like it actually was a lot better. Well, not a lot better, but like... I mean, okay. If you get over the lip, then you get the extra benefit of, like, falling further, so... For a first attempt, that was maybe, like... It's really hard to say. A little bit better. But... This is incredibly silly. I feel like most of the time, if I don't want to get cute with it, well, like, I could either practice that input a lot, and probably eke out, I don't know, maybe another 15 or 20%. I could rebind the keybinds so that I could use my index finger and middle fingers instead of, or thumb. Well, thumb is on spacebar, and that's pretty important. Well, anyway. We will revisit this at a later time. But it's interesting to know that it probably is a little bit beneficial to jump with the legs on first and then parachuting. Okay, so... let's do an assessment of our steel production situation. So we are actually even now still producing plenty of steel pipes. And like one of the boxes over there, it's also mostly full of steel pipes. Because the main pressure on steel consumption right now is making encased steel beams, which... like, I haven't used any encased steel beams in a long time, and this box is still not full because steel beam production is in a pretty parlous state. Although, is that just because we don't have very many constructors making steel beams? Well, all right, so we aren't really throttled on steel ingots at the moment, but we will be throttled on steel ingots pretty quickly if we build more constructors, and then we will be throttled on coal, because like this foundry right here is the furthest one, and it's getting, relatively speaking, plenty of iron ore, but is barely squeaking by on coal. Because if we go over here, this foundry has, so maximum capacity in a foundry is 100 of each of the inputs. And the one down there at the end is, like I said, barely squeaking by. We can actually improve this by these are all like Mark II conveyor belts. So a lot of optimization can be done just by replacing these with Mark IIIs. So let's start with that, because that's relatively free. Couldn't quite make that jump. Okay. So now, the other thing we're going to do here is turn off about half of these power plants. And will that work? I think that'll work. I think if we turn off half these power plants, then the ones off wherever it is over here will take up some of the load, and that should reduce. So the brute force method is to just cut off this steel beams, and then all coal will go that way. That's not really what I want, but well, let's just do it and see what happens. Let's walk around back here. So how many power plants do we actually have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm just going to turn off half of them. Three, 4, 5. Wow, okay. Alright. Maybe what I should be doing is, this is a pretty... that's fine. I'm going to leave it like this. So now that we've made these changes, let's go see if more coal is actually going to that foundry over there. Yeah, okay, so now the last foundry is, in fact, getting more coal, so this doesn't address the steel beam problem. The actual steel beam problem, as we have established, is not having enough constructors. So let's address the actual problem. So how many do we currently... We currently have 2 constructors making steel beams. Let's triple that. We get... yeah, okay. Yep. Great. Cool. Okay. Actually, before I start doing this, let's just make sure these all have orders. Actually, let's get up on top here. Yes, this is much better. Yeah, and this is not super fast, but let's Alright. Hook up these outputs. Oops. Looks good. So this will definitely chew up a lot of steel ingot production. And the power situation is such that I probably will have to go build more power plants, but that's fine. I think if we have what's 270 divided by 6? Not sure is a question. Well, 270 divided by 3 is 90. 270 divided by 6 would be 45. So it's possible that a pure coal deposit can do 45 power plants. That seems high. Like, improbably high. So, but in any case, I think I had built 10 power plants over at the other power generation station. So I can definitely walk over there and build more. Okay. Since we're here, I don't know if it's necessary to do right now, but I'm going to go ahead and build a few more I'm going to build a few more constructors making pipes, because I suspect we'll need them eventually. And it won't be very hard to do right now. How is research going? Good question. The main thing holding up research, well, okay, so good question. Let's go, I will go demonstrate the situation. If we head back over here, I'm going to need to go back there and build more foundries anyway, so taking a short little break to head back to the hub is not that big of a deal. Oops, I don't have... I forgot to, this might also be a good time to make some more medical inhalers. Yeah. So here's the situation. By research, you may have... Let's answer the most strict interpretation of research first, which is this. So the only things I have to research are supercomputer, which I cannot build yet, hard drive, which I don't have any of, because you find those out in the field, and crystal oscillator, which I have the blueprint to make crystal oscillator, but crystal oscillator requires quartz. I do not currently have a source of quartz. I think I have a tiny bit of quartz somewhere. Yeah, this is all the quartz I have. I'm going to need a lot more than that to make crystal oscillators. So that's like research. Other research, so there's this thing, which the only thing that's available is jump pads, and I'm not going to research jump pads. To unlock further tiers here, I have to complete the space elevator delivery, which... So once I complete the space elevator delivery, that'll unlock tiers 5 and 6. And then once that's done, I'll have a ton of research to do. But while we're here, let's just check and see how the space elevator is doing. It's been about 25 minutes since, or 30 minutes maybe, since modular frame production started. We can see there's modular frames coming down the belt. And we are at less than, well, actually we're doing pretty darn well, because we actually have double this number, because half of them are sitting in the box over there. So once this gets to 250, then we can just combine the stuff. So we're about 150 out of 250, which is like, what is that? 3/5. Yes. Anyway, I was gonna make some medicinal inhalers. So basically everything's waiting on the space elevator, which is why I spent 2 hours optimizing the heck out of a factory to make more modular frames. So, medicinal inhalers require alien organs, if I have them. I don't think I have very many. Or just various foodstuffs. I think I have a lot more of those. So I have some alien organs, but I think I have more of this stuff. Although I don't have a ton of pale berries. I chewed up a lot of pale berries during my testing of my legs, so I might switch back to barrel nuts for a while. Say what? Oh. Wait, what does consumed mean? Oh, this is like ammunition. Okay. Oh, also mycelium. Sure, all the mycelium. Alright. So let's just make a lot. Like 10 or 15 of these. Yeah, and then I'll switch over to barrel nuts until I have more stuff. Okay. Okay. Is there anything in here I should move? I should move the petals over to the biomass section. And should I move the color gun? I don't know. Nah, color gun can live there. Okay, so if we sort this, let's put away most of the food except for a stack of 100 barrel nuts. And then mycelia can go over here. Biomass stuff can go here. And let's just hold on to the medicinal inhalers because I might have more falling incidents and might go on safari in a little while. By which I mean like probably 2 days from now, but so maybe that's not the greatest plan, but I'm not gonna sweat it. Let's consider, I think I probably want more iron plates. I'm frankly pretty low on those. Alright, then I'll head back to the steel production area, build a couple more foundries, maybe hook up the another iron thing. Yeah. Basically build the things what are in my build queue. And finish those constructors that I was doing. It didn't occur to me that like all this fast running might not look super great on stream because it probably like I mean, the frame rate is supposed to be 30, but it might be looking worse than that, based on what I know about how this game streams. So, let me know. Oh, also I should switch over to parachutes if I'm going to be doing this trick, because I don't want to try to do anything terribly fancy. Okay. Oh, Master Saw says it looks fine. That's good to hear. Alright, so these are making steel pipes. This is kind of a weird situation where I think I'm hanging off of the edge of that. Like, what does the game think I'm standing on here? Oh, is it thinking I'm standing on the arm? Yeah, okay. That's weird. Like, if I look over there, you can see that there are, like, arms sticking out of the constructors, and I'm apparently standing on that. I didn't realize those things had geometry in this direction, because you can walk in between them. I do it pretty routinely. But, like, yeah, because if I walk off the edge here, you just fall off. But if you walk off the edge here, you stand on the arm. Fascinating. See, I didn't think the arms had geometry at all. But, anyway. Wait a second. Oh. I didn't intend to build this many constructors for steel pipes, but now that I've done it, it's fine. It'll self-regulate, because, like, the steel pipe constructors will get full of steel pipes and then just sort of stop working because they're full of steel pipes. Okay. This will chew up a lot of steel ingots in the short term, but it's not a big deal. I find the magic pixel. Yes. Hey kids. Can you see what I'm actually pointing at? Anyway. I can try to play the game again here. There. That's all very goofy. Let's go over here. Let's see here. Nope, can't do that. This one of these has 3? Nope. This is a pretty gross power arrangement, but it's not the end of the world, so... So this is totally excessive steel pipe production now, but eventually we'll be using a lot more steel pipes, so... When the time comes, we'll have the production for it. How's power looking? I think we're okay to build some foundries. The main issue is I'm going to run into... I'm going to have to reroute this concrete. But that's actually fine. It starts over there, bends over here, and then bends back for no particular reason. So I can definitely just have it go straight from there over to there, which won't be a great long-term solution, but it should enable me to at least double steel production. Steel ingot production, that's what I mean. Okay, so let's dismantle these belts. So I believe I can do what I want to do here. which is put a conveyor pole here, and a little too long. That's fine. Ugh. No. There. I just reached that far. I can't reach that far, can I? 26. Dang. That's fine. Let's see here. If I put this here... this is a little bit tetchy. There. And let's just remove these poles here. Okay. Now I have space for some more foundries. Let's attempt to... I mean, I don't think we actually have coal capacity for it, but let's just build 3. Oh, I'm out of cables. I'm, like, way out of cables. So let's go get more cables. Actually, the other thing I want to do here is... wait, this is a Mark III conveyor belt? You're sure? I guess it is there. I'm not convinced the whole thing is. Like, I guess it is. It felt kind of slow going this direction, but I guess it's fine. And I want parachutes for this. Cables are over here. Okay. Alright, now we should have plenty of cables. Let's just leave the parachutes on for heading back over there. Alright. As I mentioned yesterday, I have no special obligations this morning, so I can go for a little longer than usual. I have some bread dough that's rising, but bread dough can rise for extra time with minimal consequences. Nope. Yep, okay. Alright. Right, so I believe, yeah, so there's an iron deposit there that I can hook up miners to, and then update these logistics, and that'll provide iron ore. So I definitely can expand my iron mining capacity. But first, Mastazah uses a bread machine. I've used bread machines before, but I don't know, I just have a thing that I like kneading the dough manually, which I also like. I didn't like the shape. The bread machine that I had, I didn't like the shape that the bread came out when you baked it in the bread machine, which you totally can take the dough out of the bread machine and like bake it in a real oven, but like, I don't know. Everyone has their own bread preferences, and that's fine. Something's going on here. Do I have to align this manually? I might have to align this manually. Yeah, like this is in line, even though it's in line with this, even though it doesn't give me the line. That's obnoxious. Thank you for that little joke there. That's pretty good. I think I can just eyeball this. Ha, he says, immediately flubbing it. What am I doing? I don't know. Okay. That looks good. So one thing about foundries is that their tops are not as conveniently flat as assemblers are, or constructors, so you can't get quite as cute. And stand on, I mean, you can stand on them, but you have to, like, because you can't jump from foundry to foundry nearly as easily, it doesn't work. And finding the magic snap 2 pixels a little bit tougher. That's annoying. Sometimes when splitters are... yes, okay. So if you have it exactly right, you can just run from splitter to splitter, but if you are off by even a little bit, you get thrown off, which is... anyway. Like this. How did I do that? I don't know. Okay. Enough horsing around. So I think this should line up with the output. No, it doesn't. Wow. How obnoxious. That's like, why is the output not in the middle of the building? What is wrong with you? Like, this is the snap 2 line for the middle of the building, but you have to put it over here to get the... Ugh. My life is so hard. Wait, this is not even going the right direction. Yeah, we gotta turn the beat around here. There. This is... doing it this way, you can like line up the green arrow and the orange arrow, and then use the snap 2 line arrow. There. Okay. All right. One of these days I might... how many megawatts do these things use? 16? Let's actually look and see what our power generation is like and whether we can handle another 16 times 3 equals 48. Wait, that can't be right. You know, yeah, that's right. Another 48 megawatts of consumption. We're at 750. Yeah, we can totally handle this because we have like at least about 250 of spare capacity, which turning these on, excuse me, turning these on will, for example, make these constructors actually get some ingots, which something looks wrong here. Is it just steel ingot shortage? Probably. Yeah. That's just ingot shortage. Yeah, Mastodon notes that certainly, like, the fact that this game is in 3D makes it harder to control than Factorio, for example. Which is kind of a challenge. I was never one to play a lot of first-person shooters and stuff, so I'm not super dexterous with first-person controls like this, but I wanted to give it a try, even though it's not really my usual cup of tea. Okay. So now we presumably will not have enough iron ore to supply these things. Let's start by updating these conveyors to Mark III. And this conveyor lift. Which is to say, this conveyor lift. And now what we're going to do is, I think I have, where's my, did I move my crafting bench? So there's an equipment bench over there. I think yeah, I moved my, oh wait. Actually, the equipment bench is what I want, because I need to make the portable miners. There. This is Mark II already, right? Yes. Okay. So, if I... Sure. And now, we're just gonna put a merger here. Sure. There. Don't need to get too fresh with this. And now I want to ditch all the iron ore that's in my inventory, since I picked up some amount of it. There. Alright. Yeah, those are both Mark III conveyor belts, that's fine. Mark III conveyor belts can do 270. This looks a little funky. It looks like this one is limited. Oh, no? 120 plus 120 should be 240. This one is not carrying... Seems like there should not be a backlog here. That's Mark III, that's Mark III. All those are Mark III. Let's check and see if there's a... I mean, it's possible that... that's Mark III. The backlog might just be that I don't have enough... Nope, I found it. This one. There. Okay. Now once that gets cleared out, then both of these miners should be mining at full capacity. Doesn't seem to be happening yet. Is there... Did I miss another one? No? What's going on here? Oh, actually what's happening, what's happening here is that this thing just had a backlog of iron ore that it was going through. I can cheat and yank it out. Okay. So that thing was, finger quotes, producing more than 120 iron ore per minute because it had a backlog that it was trying to shove through as fast as possible. But if I just dump the iron ore in here, there. Now both of them are producing at capacity instead of over capacity, and power is pretty close to capacity itself. But it's been about 50 minutes-ish since I kicked off the modular frame construction, so we should be pretty close to done, if not actually done. All right. Yep. So here we go. For fun, we can stand up here and watch it go. There. So we've been at this almost 3 hours, and it's been like several streams of preparation for this. But here now we get to actually send stuff up the space elevator. Yay! Okay. There's still a splitter here, but this is not going to be necessary anymore. So that enables a lot of things. One thing it enables is the next delivery level, which is 1,000 heavy modular frames, 1,000 computers, and 1,000 motors. So, that's going to be, I'm guessing, a couple of weeks off, because it's going to be a while. Do I even have the blueprint for modular frames, or heavy modular frames? There it is. Heavy modular frames takes things we currently are manufacturing, being a modular frame, steel pipe, encased industrial beam, and 90 screws. So that's something. Motor, we actually already have a factory, or a small crude production line for. And then computers. I don't know what computers are. I just nope, no idea. So let's go learn about computers. Come on. Okay. So now we have tier 5 and 6 of milestones unlocked. So this gives us a... Oh, hey, look, rifles. So I think this thing was unlocked by researching nobelisks. So I researched dynamite, and then, like, basically at the time, a couple days ago, determined that the milestone that it unlocked was at a higher tier than I could even see. So I also have alternate recipe for computers. So lots of things. So oil processing gives us oil pump and oil refinery, and then things that are made out of oil. Also lets us scan for crude oil. That'll be important. Industrial manufacturing gives us the basic computer recipe, and also manufacturer, which crafts 3 or 4 parts into another part. Deuterium electronics. Smart splitter. Oh man. Oh geez. I'm gonna lose my mind. This is something I've wanted for a long time, which is set a rule for which parts go to the left and which parts go to the right. This is super important. I've never seen this before. Because what this will allow us to do is have conveyor feeds, for example, the conveyor feeds over there, feed mixtures of parts long distances and then have them split into relevant things at the end, rather than having like a separate dedicated conveyor belt for each individual thing. So I've been laboring without that for a long time. Yes, Masuda says the one big belt theory. Yes, exactly. See, in Factorio, realistically in Factorio, this rarely is a problem because you're not space limited, and building a lot of transport belts in Factorio is not a big problem. But you can do this, like, you can also do this in Factorio by managing the left and right sides of a transport belt, which I definitely did a lot of that when I was playing Factorio, because of how Factorio transport belts work. But in this game, like, you can also do it in Factorio with logic circuits, which to like have and like selector plays. What are they called? Anyway, you can have the mover arms, which I've already forgotten what they're actually called, only select certain items off of a belt, which I did in Factorio. For example, if I had a mixed stream of iron ore and coal, I would use the smart arms to pull the coal off of it. Anyway, stuff like that. So I'm losing my mind over smart splitters, because smart splitters will enable much more sophisticated things to happen. Also supercomputer, which is like better computer, I guess. So AI limiter are super advanced electronics that are used to control AIs and keep them from evolving in malicious ways. So Satisfactory definitely taking a stand on how AI works. Tier 6 gives us expanded power infrastructure. This is fuel generators, so this is for generating electricity from fuel, which is we get from over here. By fuel, they mean fossil fuel. Also gives us Mark IV conveyor belts. This is something I want. Post haste. Gives us the jetpack, so that's something. Gives us trains, which we'll see how long it takes before I start playing around with trains. Also gas masks, which lets us breathe breathe normally in poison gas. Great. So that's fun, but I've not seen super compelling reasons to go mucking around in poison gas. I've seen like power slugs, but that's whatever. So, we have many things to work on. Since I don't have computers or modular frames, I'm kind of going to prioritize things that don't require those things yet. I am interested in getting oil processing sooner rather than later, because I want to be able to at least know where the crude oil is pretty soon. So, is there anything on Tier 6 that's more important? Tier 6 all requires heavy modular frames, so no. I think we want to start here with oil processing. So we're going to need some motors. Let's just go see if we have enough. This would be nice to know if, oh I can just get crude oil scanning up now. In terms of construction, my immediate priority will be to go build more coal power plants over at the coal site. Because my power right now is like okay, but if I were to build a big factory, I would certainly run out of power pretty quick. So, we need 75 motors and 75 modular frames. The modular frame should not be a problem. The motors might need some steel pipes. Yup. Okay. I think I'm just going to hand deliver some steel pipes by robbing Peter to pay Paul a little bit over here. Because these factories are mostly reinforced iron plate limited, they are not steel pipe limited, so I can just yank the steel pipes out and they will get refilled in a pretty reasonable time. Ouch. Okay. Now I think I'm just carrying enough modular frames. Let's pick up some more since I might need some. Actually, let's go ahead and queue like 10 coal generators. Okay. Let's grab another stack in that case. Well, actually, I think probably that'll be plenty. And then deliver the pipes. What's anything good in here? Nope, that's all pretty boring. And to deliver the steel pipes here, I believe that'll make enough motors because I think it's 6 steel pipes per motor. Yes, it's 3 steel pipes per stator, 2 stators per motor, so 6 steel pipes per motor. And anyway, enough forcing around there. So I'll go deliver these modular frames and then probably go build more power plants and then come back and while we're at it, let's actually, do I have a storage thing for copper wire over here? Nope, but that's fine. Then we'll take our pulse after I've built the power plants and done the milestone for oil. So we need 6 stacks of copper wire. Let's actually just pick up another half stack for walking around. Cable also, I think I'm going to need more cable. Let's just go with this. And then the modular frames. Okay, there. Alright, so just need the motors. And how's our inventory looking? I think the other thing we might need here is concrete to expand the pad that the power plants are sitting on. Also, we will need a decent amount of steel beams to make the conveyor belts, so let's get on that. I guess one thing I could do instead of parachuting is just ride the belt all the way down. How do I feel about that? This is fine, if I'm just going over here. We can also look at steel beam production and see how it's doing. That's probably overkill, but that's fine. A lot of yellow. I kind of overbuilt this thing. Also, I'm guessing that currently steel pipe production is still, yeah, like even this thing is only has an excess of 31. So I don't need. You know what? Actually, what I'm going to do here is turn off most of these constructors. Hopefully I will remember that they are turned off, but I'm just going to put these in standby because these don't actually need to be working. My steel pipe consumption is not such that I need 6 constructors making steel pipes. Also going to grab some more steel pipes to feed into the motor stream. Okay. For this trip, I think I definitely do want parachutes. Another question is whether I'd go faster on a belt with just... No, I think... well, that's... the jury is still out on whether I move faster on a belt with or without the legs on. Just like... Never mind jump height, just... whether your finger quotes walking speed is faster. Hey, that time I opened my parachute without the legs on and just got here. So, what are rules? I don't know. Okay. Wow. All those pipes that I used already got chewed up. Do we have all the motors we need then? Barely. But I'll take it. Master says, how fast is the belt? That is a complicated question. Mark III conveyor belts move things at 270 resources per minute, but that's not a good metric because you move faster than things do on the belt. Like, you just get a speed bonus. Which at some point I was thinking I might do some science to determine how much faster you move than items on the belts. I'm going to wait until I have Mark IV conveyor belts before I do that, though. So the other question is, like, how fast is 270 items resources per minute? If you generically assume that resources are a meter cube, which is an approximation but probably functional, then it moves at 270 meters per minute, which is not a very useful unit of measurement, but it is what we got. Oh, wait, I didn't actually put in enough cables. That's funky. Anyway.
Milestone reached. Oil acquisition and refining unlocked. Oil-based products can now be made. Caution, this is a reminder to minimize the chance of expiration during out-of-base activities.
I think that was a joke at the end there. I'm not sure exactly what they meant. Minimize the chance. I think they probably mean that we should expect oil deposits to be guarded by beefier aliens. That's how I'll read that. So now we can scan for crude oil. My guess is that it will be far away. waiting. How about that crude oil, huh? Oop. 2 point something kilometers and 2.6 kilometers. Wow. Yep. It is indeed far away. NASA reports that Mark III belts have a standing speed of 32 kilometers per hour. Okay, I assume that means player standing on the belt speed. Your base running speed is also 32 kilometers per hour. I mean, okay. The thing is that, like, go up here. Okay, with the Blade Runners on, your speed is 48 kilometers per hour. I feel like this might be cognitive bias. I am perfectly willing to admit that. So these are Mark III conveyor belts. And so sprinting is on. You know what? I'm gonna get out a timer. Stopwatch. I'm gonna run to the end of the ramp here. I'm gonna try to run in as much of a straight line as possible. That's a pretty straight line. And I'm gonna run from the start of this belt to the where the down ramp goes without the Blade Runners on. I'm not like trying to prove math is all wrong here. That's not what we're here to do. I just want to know what facts are because I'm curious. Because my mental perception is that Mark III conveyor belts, just like riding it with nothing extra, is faster than sprinting, but that could be wrong. So let's go. I am drifting a tiny amount here. Okay, that's a decent correction. Alright. That was about 27 and a bit seconds, so 28 seconds. Ish. So from the same... So I have to do this... Going back, I have to do it from this belt here. And so again, about 28 seconds from end to end. And go. And I have to like stop when I get to the end of the other belt, not the one that I'm on right now. So that was like 15 and a half seconds. So I think I've demonstrated that Mark III conveyor belts are faster than sprinting. Because it was like 28-ish seconds versus 15 and a half seconds. So I don't know what rules are. Anyway. As I said, I plan at a later date, once I have Mark IV conveyor belts, to do a more comprehensive speed test of various things. Notably, I'm also curious how much faster. Amastazah says, "Well, were you also walking while on the belt?" Yeah, I was not pressing any keys on the keyboard. I pressed the I guess right to step. You know, when I was standing like this, I just pressed right and then just let go of the keyboard. So there was no keyboard input while I was moving on the belt. I could do the test again with keyboard input. It does change it a little bit, Um, so, I don't know why I feel like I should be doing it from here. Okay. Where's that timer at? Okay, so again, 15, so it was, with no keyboard input, it was 15 and a half or so. So I am holding down W here for forward, and I'm also on the belt. That was essentially the same. I mean, my stopwatch says 15.4, but that's user variation with pressing start and stop on the stopwatch. So, it might make a difference on belts other than Mark III, but it didn't seem to make a difference there. All right. Anyway. I think it's time to go build some power plants. But I should also maybe set another milestone. Yeah, you do auto run on conveyors. Like if you look at your feet, let's find a longer conveyor. But like, I interpret that as just being an animation. Like, it is not necessarily informative to know whether it animates your feet moving. Because like, it doesn't even animate your feet moving on a Mark. This is a Mark 1, and it doesn't animate your feet moving. So I can definitely speed up a Mark 1 by holding down W. Now I'm curious. Because if the difference is that they like animate, if you actually do auto run on the Mark III but not on a Mark 1, that would be weird. Jasper's here also. Hello, Jasper. Do you know any facts about conveyor belts? You want to go up here? You want to stand in front of the screen? Okay, cat. Why don't you head up here? Urgh. I think Jasper's annoyed that I've been playing computer games for too long. Is that right? Urgh. Go up there. Or get on my lap. Make up your mind. You're a goofball. Okay. So now, now the test is to look at my feet while on a Mark III conveyor belt. Yes, you auto-run on a Mark III conveyor belt, but not a Mark 1. That makes no sense. That's hilarious. Yep. Now we have Jasper playing with the microphone. Yep. There's that run animation. Well, anyway. I could do some... Oh. Now Jasper's chewing on the power cable. Jasper, cut it out. Please don't chew on the power cable. It might be time for a stream break so I can play with the cat. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hold on. I'll be back in a minute or two.